Today we're going to take you for a day in the life at Garden Crossings. We're going to take you behind the scenes. We're going to show you some fall transformation that just occurred. So we're excited to have you go and walk through today the greenhouses with us while we show you around. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings, and it's fall and we're starting to do that fall transformation here in the landscapes. It's sad, it's hard to do because when your annuals are still looking as beautiful as what they are, it's hard to take them out. But being located in West Michigan, we're a Zone 6A, we know that any day frost could hit, and once frost hits, it really does a number on the annuals. So we want to be proactive and take the annuals out while they're still looking good and getting them replaced with some of our fall accent plants so that we not only feel a little fall-y here at the garden center, but it also helps inspire our customers with ideas of what they can do when they're looking to do their fall plantings as well. So we're going to start off with taking a look at the fall plantings that have been done here at Garden Crossings. We're going to also head back, like I mentioned, back into the greenhouse and show you some of what the team's been doing. Just behind the scenes, there's a lot that goes on day to day here in a greenhouse operation, and I think many things you may not know or take for granted occur. So I think it's important that we can show you what our team is busy doing in a season where you may feel like it could be kind of slow for us. There's never a slow season, but we like to say there's never a slow season. It's always a different kind of season. So let's go ahead and take a look. Go and take a look at kind of some of the thought processes with what we were thinking with planting this ground planting in front of the garden center. And we're going to also take a look at each one of our containers to see the design that Ben, one of our growers, put together to give you some ideas of maybe ways to think outside the box when you're looking to put your planters or containers together. So we wanted a lot of color up front. Color is key. It's what draws the eye to the garden center. So we took, I think there's about 4 different color mums that we planted in this area. And when they did it, I wanted them to do kind of a patchwork effect, trying to keep colors that are similar away from each other so that the different colors kind of pop off of each other. We did more of a mid to late season mum because, like I said, we've had gorgeous colors still from our annuals. So we knew we didn't need an early blooming mum or probably even a mid blooming mum. We knew we wanted something that would bloom a little bit later. So these are all late varieties. And that might be something that you don't know, is there are, I think, 4 different categories of mums. There's very early blooming, early blooming, mid blooming, late blooming, and there's even very late blooming. So it's always kind of a guess when we go to order our mums in the like early summer or late spring. That's when we have to put our orders in for fall, is when are we going to need the color? Is it going to be a early cold season? So do we need color like the beginning of September? Or is the cold going to come later and we really need to have color later in the season? So that's always a guess. You never know. Speculation is the number one hard thing to do in this industry, is just speculating when plants need to be ready based off of the weather. So anyways, we're really excited. This is going to look really cool. They're starting to come into color just perfectly, and it's going to just look vibrant with all the beautiful fall colors. We did transform the aquapots. We did leave the palms in them though, because the palms are giving kind of that upright thriller, really kind of cool look. If we do get a frost though, these palms are going to probably turn black. So we'll have to kind of cut them out at the base so they don't look ugly. But in this combination, we've got 3 of the garden mums. There's also some kale, which is just more of an evergreen color. Tucked behind the mums, it looks like he used a Jacob's ladder. That's golden feathers, which is a great Jacob's ladder for its foliage. That blooms in the spring, but we're using that just to kind of bring in some foliage interest. Now with the perennials that we do use in these planters, we will remove them and we can plant them out in the landscape, you know, to use for year after year color. The garden mums though, we are not going to plant in the landscape, because once they're all bloomed out, they're going to really have no value. They're not going to be able to put energy into the roots. They're done putting flower color on. So if you try to plant a mum that's bloomed out in your garden here in Michigan, it's not going to overwinter unless you're extremely lucky. So these will be annuals, or what we'll call throwaway plants, once they are done flowering. Let's take a look at the next aquapot. And this one has a little bit different feel to it. Still, of course, we're going with the garden mums because that's kind of that iconic fall flower. But we did tuck in a few pansies, and pansies are nice for cool weather. So even when it gets cold, these frizzle sizzle pansies will continue to put on flowers. Tucked in the middle here, kind of fill in this area, are some asters. And then the beautiful white mums. I'm loving the purple and white combination. Those are kind of my colors. The next one here, again, some asters were used in this combination along with the yellow garden mums. And then this time they tucked in some of the burgundy bicolor pansies in the back there. So it's bringing in the plums, the whites, and the yellows. This too, I think, has a very nice and vibrant look to it. And closer to the garden center as we get, we're really taking some pretty intense fall coloration with the rust mums. Now, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I am very honest with what I say, and rust mums are not my thing. They look nice in here, but I personally, I don't plant rust mums in my garden. I'm more of a yellow, pink, and purple kind of girl, but that's just who I am. So we have these rust mums planted with some ajuga. So ajuga is a perennial. It's a ground cover perennial, and they tucked this in because of its nice dark black foliage. So it really gives kind of that nice fall feel. In the back here, oh, we actually got a flower here on this ajuga. This is actually a spring blooming perennial, so to see a flower this time of year is quite a surprise. But it's nice kind of tucking in these dark foliage colors against this rusty mum. In the back, he tucked in a few heuchera, and those have got a beautiful chartreuse yellow coloration with a burgundy vein. And that too, really using the flower and the foliage color to play off of one another in this container. So the garden center just opened for the day, and the team is out here. They're just restocking the store. So that's the first thing they do when they get in here in the morning, is make sure that anything we sold the day before gets restocked so that the store is all full of all of the wonderful options that we have. They're also in here maintaining plants. So they'll go through the outdoor area, the indoor areas, and do any trimming that needs to be done. If there's any weeds that have crept in, they'll go ahead and weed the plants out. They'll also go ahead and arrange and kind of redecorate displays just to give it kind of a fresh new look every week or so. So Lots of beautiful color right now that it's fall, and it's exciting because people are finally getting a little excited for fall. We still really have had some pretty nice temperatures, like 70s and low 80s, but I think people are just ready for that fall transformation and are just embracing the fact that we will be getting cooler soon, and they want to have the fall look in their gardens. Back in the shipping department right now. This is what a typical Monday looks like. Majority of our shipments in the late fall happen on Mondays, with a little bit also happening on Tuesdays. Plants are getting all boxed up and put on pallets, ready to get shipped out to your home. So this is actually the end of the line. So we're going to work backwards on showing you the process today. So let's head on down the line and see what else is going on. At this desk, orders are getting verified. Every plant that is on an order gets scanned 3 different times in the shipping process to verify that the right plants are going to the right customer. So you're noticing how she's scanning every one of the QR codes on the pot. This also helps us keep control of inventory, so we know exactly how many plants we have on site at any given time. As she's scanning here, the computer tells her how many of the plants have been scanned, and if she happens to scan a wrong plant, the computer will kind of blow up at her and kind of tell her that, hey, the wrong plant was put into the wrong tray, so she knows to go out and find the right plant. Every week or two we get a shipment in of our boxes, which we use for shipping our plants out through our online store. So right now we're getting a truck unloaded. We have about 6 or so different box sizes that we use, and then also 6 cell fillers that we put inside the boxes. Every box has several slots in it because every one of our plants goes in its own slot or compartment within a box. So Ben's unloading today, and then once he's done unloading the truck, he'll do inventory on the boxes to make sure we got everything that we were supposed to get for the week. This is where the new loading docks that we got this past winter have come into handy, because before this was all done outdoors, where now the trucks can simply back into the loading dock and we can get them unloaded right into our shipping room. In the fall, it's a frequent occurrence that we would be getting plants in at any point during the week. Right now, we just got a shipment in of our clematis vines. So these will be planted up now and will be ready for spring shipment. This particular variety is from Donahue's clematis, and it looks like it's pretty much all Ragucci. So Ragucci is our top selling clematis, and it's definitely a very unique looking one with its beautiful purple bell-shaped flowers. It's a very long blooming clematis, so I think that's why people really enjoy having it in their garden. So when these come in, this is the size of them. And this is, I think, it's like a 2-inch container. So we'll get these planted up into our 1-quart containers, get them on we like to grow them up on a stick so that they don't get all tangled. And yeah, these pretty nice looking plants that came in today. So in the fall, when the plants come in, they are also obviously going to get potted up. So this is our sticker machine, and running these pots through this machine, each pot is getting a unique barcode label stuck to it. So right now I think they said they're working on Nepeta. They're just about finished getting the Nepeta pot stickered. So they actually are going to be changing over to our generic black pots next to get these pots stickered up for the clematis. So because of the same size pot, no adjustments need to be done on the stickering machine. They just set the pots on the track and they roll down. So they do have to make sure that the stickers are getting properly applied. So Emily is looking at every pot as she's picking it up to put it in the tray. You'll also notice that when she's picking it up, she's taking her thumbs and placing her thumbs over the sticker, and that's just kind of giving those stickers a final rub to make sure that they are stuck securely onto the pots. We used to do this all by hand, and it worked when we were smaller, but now that we plant up thousands and thousands of plants every year, This machine has really been a huge time saver, and to be honest, it makes this job a lot more enjoyable to do. We're in the back growing greenhouses right now, and it was about 6 or 8 weeks ago that the team went through and planted up a bunch of our gallon shrubs that are inventory for 2025. Now, sometimes they grow a little quicker, some varieties than others, so some of these we can release early. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few of these shrub varieties that are just doing fantastic right now and are even giving us some blooms. So this is going to go to show that if you buy a quart-sized shrub, within about 6 to 8 weeks, you realistically should have the same result if you were planting it into your landscape in the summer months. So the first thing we're going to show you is the Caryopteris, or the bluebird. The Beyond Midnight looks amazing. And if you're looking over my shoulder right now, you may be seeing just a giant splash of purple. That's what we're going to go ahead to. Beyond Midnight is blooming right now, not only in the greenhouses, but out in the landscape. This is one of the best fall colored shrubs out there for flower color. Beyond Midnight is hardy in zones 5 to 9, and it's fairly compact, only getting about 2.5 foot tall. So if you are looking to add that late season gorgeous color into your garden, Beyond Midnight is definitely a great selection. The other nice thing with Beyond Midnight is that it attracts the pollinators. So if you're looking to add some flowers into the garden that are going to be beneficial for those late season honeybees and bees, this is definitely going to be one of those plants. Also, you'll notice it's in our new deer-proof container, and this is a container or branding by Proven Winners Color Choice. Now, when I see deer-proof, that makes me think the deer will never touch the plant, but I want to explain a little bit. So the deer-proof that Proven Winners is putting on their shrubs means that the shrubs are rarely or seldom browsed. Nothing is deer-proof. So this is a pretty bold statement by Proven Winners. But this is going to help you identify shrubs that are going to be something that will be rarely or seldom browsed by deer. We all know if animals are hungry enough, they're going to eat anything they can get their mouths on. So if you're looking for a deer-resistant shrub to add to the garden, here we go. Beautiful late season fall color. As I'm walking down this row, there are butterfly bushes just going on and on. I love walking through the butterfly bush house because there's just so much fragrance. These two were just planted 6 weeks ago from a quart-sized container. Look at that beautiful canopy and display of color, and oh, so much fragrance. So butterfly bush are great for butterflies. This is a nice plant if you're looking to really attract the butterflies to your garden. It's not a host plant, meaning it's not a plant that they're going to lay their eggs on or eat. They simply are visiting this for the pollen and the nectar purposes from the plants. The fun thing when we're out in the greenhouse is sometimes some really beautiful plantings just naturally occur. When we're laying them down, we're not thinking about, what plants look good together. But in this particular area in the greenhouse, I think this is just gorgeous and gives you a little inspiration or ideas of what you could do in your garden. In the background, we've got all these beautiful ornamental grasses that are currently blooming. Ornamental grasses are a late summer and fall plant that really put on a show. Planted in front of them here, we have all kinds of different barberries. And I think the barberries paired with those ornamental grasses are just so pretty. One of my personal favorites is right here with the Sunjoy Orange Pillar Barberry. Paired there with that Desert Plains grass, it looks gorgeous, especially if you're looking to have some fall interest in your garden. I hope you enjoyed the day in the life here at Garden Crossings. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you're new to our channel, we welcome you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings.